Tonight, 16 Hoosiers are back in their homes in northern Indiana. They're preparing to move into a hotel as they get ready to be sequestered and serve on the Delphi Murders trial. Good evening, I'm Jenny Runovich, in tonight for Felicia Lawrence.
And I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan. Those jurors are the people charged with deciding the fate of the man who's accused of taking the lives of two young girls, Abby Williams and Libby German. This murder, double murder, happened more than 7.5 years ago, and now finally justice is underway. Our Samantha Johnson spent the day in Fort Wayne today in the courtroom as those final jurors that will comprise the panel were selected.
And she joins us live from Allen County tonight. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening to you guys. That's right. The headline of the day is that we now have a complete jury for the Delphi Murders trial. 12 jurors, 4 alternates in all. I can tell you today inside the Allen County Courthouse, we saw 3 rounds of jurors in all. It took about 6 hours inside the courthouse. We wrapped up this afternoon around 3:30, and it was a very similar process to what we told you about yesterday on day 1. So the judge first questioned the jurors row by row, followed by 30 minutes from the prosecution and 30 minutes by the defense team, by Richard Allen's attorneys. In fact, one of the questions asked by defense attorney Andy Baldwin sparked a wide variety of responses from 12 jurors during round 2 that is typically a very fundamental question. He asked, is Richard Allen innocent until proven guilty here in the state of Indiana? Like we said, a wide variety of answers from the jurors. In fact, some of them straight up said no. But like we mentioned, at the end of the day, we have a full jury after just 2 days of jury selection. In fact, we actually seated 17 people. We only needed 16, so we talked to the prosecutors afterwards. They tell us they're still sticking with 12 jurors, 4 alternates, so it's not clear yet if that means that one of the original jurors has been dismissed. That's one of the questions we're still asking tonight. As for what comes next, we know this team, this court, they have the day off tomorrow. The jury is set to be sworn in Thursday morning, followed by the court addressing several outstanding motions that have to be addressed before this trial can start Friday. One of the defense attorneys saying it best when she said, quote, "This is going to be a long trial. This is going to be a difficult trial." Jenny and Anne-Marie, of course, all that expected to start Friday morning in Carroll County.
Yeah, Sam, I know this has been a very long journey to justice for the families of the 2 girls. Were they in court today? Did you make any observations of them?
We did see Abby's grandparents were back for the second day of jury selection. They were inside the courtroom. Today, we also saw family members of Libby German. They weren't here yesterday, but they were here on day 2 when that full jury was announced. We also saw Richard Allen in person for the second day in a row. We'll tell you more about that coming up tonight on 13 News at 6.
All right, Sam Johnson, we appreciate all your coverage from Allen County tonight. See you at 6.
Also tonight, there's an effort to block the jurors from seeing the composite sketches of possible suspects in the double murder case.
Now, you likely remember these. The first one you saw came out 5 months after the murder in 2017. Investigators released this second picture in 2019.
So the prosecutors are arguing that these sketches in particular could prejudice, mislead, and confuse the jurors that are on the panel. And he says, in fact, they're no longer relevant because they were not used to identify the suspect in the case, Richard Allen.
So those sketches might be discussed in a Thursday morning hearing in court. You know, a lot has happened with this case over the last 7.5 years. We've made it easy for you to get caught up on all the major moments and developments ahead of the trial.
You can do so by checking out our Delphi Trial Special at WTHR+. It's available and on demand 24/7.
You can download our free app on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and Roku. Just search WTHR in the respective app store.
Well, this is the impact of colder weather.
Yeah, take a close look here. Our own Rich Nye shared this video with us. That's hail falling on the south side earlier today. Yeah, it actually coated the roof of a house. Oh my goodness. Well, now Angela's tracking some falling temperatures, and they might force you to actually turn on the heat if you haven't done so yet.
Yes, quite chilly out there. How long are we talking about maybe going with or without heat, Angela?
I would say you're going to need the heat over the next couple of mornings, and that's the weather impact we're talking about this evening. Temperatures that will drop into the low to mid 30s. That's the impact. The when? The next couple of nights. So Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, what you need to do if you've got sensitive plants you still want to save, you want to bring them inside or cover them up. And if you still have a small garden going, probably a good idea to go ahead and harvest that. Frost advisories highlighted in the lighter blue, freeze warnings from you in Muncie, Anderson, Richmond, Newcastle. We're not under any advisories from Lafayette, Kokomo to Indianapolis because of a cloud deck that may keep temperatures up just enough. Those showers that we saw with Rich Nye produced a little bit of hail. Those continue to push south at this hour with some of the steadiest rain falling just west of Seymour into Brownstown. Kids will need that heavy coat at the bus stop. More on the chill in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Angela. And don't forget, you can always keep track of the falling temperatures on our live Doppler 13 weather app. You can get it anytime. It is a free download from the App Store, and that's where our team of meteorologists will make sure you're updated on the very latest weather happenings.
Developing tonight, a tactical urbanism project on the city's east side is now inspiring the city to redesign one of the area's busiest streets.
Last year, the Community Heights Neighborhood Association set up these barriers along 10th Street, and the idea here was that these would slow down drivers. According to the data that's now out, it did help.
Yeah, in fact, now Indy DPW says it's time to really rethink the residential corridor. So our Marion County reporter Lauren Kostick shares the permanent changes now coming to the neighborhood.
Last year, these barriers sat in the middle of East 10th Street from Arlington to Emerson, an experiment initiated by neighbors in Community Heights to slow down cars and curb reckless driving. And it turns out their temporary solution worked.
We saw a 74% drop in crashes. The year prior, there were 30 crashes in 90 days. With the experiment in place, we saw 8 crashes.
The East Side neighborhood was one of the first in Indy to launch a tactical urbanism project. The city's Department of Public Works took note, saying neighbors not only provided critical data, but also a roadmap to possible solutions.
And that gives DPW valuable data points and community engagement for when we go to plan major future investments down the road. And this one obviously fit what we wanted to do.
That's why the city is including millions in next year's budget to redesign the congested corridor. A permanent fix thanks to the community-led project.
This would be the first tactical urbanism program that a community organization has done in Indianapolis that's going to lead to a major full-scale redesign of their roadway.
Even though it's early in the process, DPW says the redesign will include traffic calming measures and improve pedestrian safety, something Leslie Schulte calls a win for her neighborhood.
Design funds being included in this year's budget is incredible.
Now hoping it inspires other communities to do the same. Indy DPW says it plans to start the design phase next year and also hold meetings here in this neighborhood to get everyone's feedback. In Indianapolis, Lauren Kostick, 13 News.
Tactical urbanism is one of the community-powered infrastructure programs that are offered by the city. It's where community groups apply for permits and funding from the city to install temporary barriers.
Now the city is getting ready to announce new projects with a new round of applications opening up this December. Also making news tonight, we are learning that the teen hurt in a hit-and-run accident has passed away from his injuries.
Earlier today, the Marion County coroner shared that 14-year-old Wilberto Rivera III died yesterday. The crash happened last Thursday night on North Cumberland Road, just north of 10th Street. That's on the far east side of Indy.
Metro Police tell 13 News the teen was riding his bike when someone driving a car hit him and then drove away, leaving him there on the street. He was hospitalized in critical condition for several days before his death. And now the Marion County coroner is identifying several people who were killed here in Indianapolis over the weekend.
32-year-old Fletcher Butler died in the driver's seat of a car found in the middle of an East Side road on Monday morning. Metro Police say someone shot and killed him near East 30th and North Franklin Road.
Neighbors say that they heard arguing before shots fired. Police have not named any suspects yet in this ongoing investigation.
And 33-year-old Tommy Paget Jr. died after suffering traumatic injuries in downtown Indianapolis.
Metro Police found his body on South Illinois near West Georgia Street on Sunday night. Now, officers originally thought that someone had shot him, but then further investigation revealed that he did die from something else. Listen up, if you travel downtown, and that includes I-65, you're going to want to reroute. Here's a live look right now as we are just hours away from this very big construction project that is going to likely change the way you get in and out of downtown.
Oh boy, it sure will. So this is a live look right now at the stretch we're talking about. This is on I-65 headed into downtown. So the closure begins at 9 o'clock tonight, and it's expected to stay closed through the end of the month.
Our Lindsay Monroe looks at the maps and joins us to let us know how you can reroute.
Some alternate routes you'll need to keep in mind as we've got this big closure of I-65 southbound in between West Street and Alabama Street on the near north side. Also, ramps associated with on-ramps to 65 southbound will be closed from 38th Street, including Dr. MLK, 29th Street, 30th Street, as well as 21st Street. On to 65 southbound will be closed. So all traffic will be routed off at West Street while this closure is ongoing. NDOT, though, recommends if you're coming into the city, don't even come down 65 southbound. You'll want to reroute on 465 southbound on the northwest side of town. You can utilize that as an alternate route, or 865 eastbound to 465 eastbound, where you can continue around the north side to avoid that stretch of 65 southbound that's going to be closed. If you do come downtown on 65, note that all traffic will be diverted onto West Street, where you can then make your way around downtown, or you can utilize I-70 on the south side of downtown to continue through the city.